Hello. Today I would like to introduce to my new function for the program, which is hash. Hash is a algorithm that transforms any block of data into a string of new character of a fixed length. Regardless of the length of the input data, the same type of hash will always output a hash value of the same length. There are four common hash types. Uh, they are MD5, SH1, SH256, and SH512. Um, I personally like MD5, so a lot of the function that I wrote more to MD5, but those are four common hash in the market that I'm aware of. So what is hash used for? There are three areas where I think hash is being used. The first and the common area where hash is being used is with the password. So online service doesn't store your plain text password. They store a hash value for that password. In common, they generally don't have no idea how your real password is. That's the reason why when you click on forget my password, they often ask you to reset your password instead of sending a blank text password to you. So if you go to if you open my program and you select option number 2, you will enter the submenu for the hash. And within there, you can pick number 3. So a password is pretty much is a string, and so this little program it tried to mimic the way password is being stored at a hash value. So for example, if I just pick number 3 and I put in password, so this is gonna be my MD5 password encrypted. So if I'm gonna go with number 4, for example, and again I'm using password. So this will be my SH1. And if I pick number 3 again, and now I use password 1, I will have a different MD5 compared to this one. So that is how the password being stored. However, nowadays, due to the security, all the online business try to tighten security. Um, there is something got introduced which is called SOAP. So what exactly is SOAP? SOAP is just a piece of random data got added to the password before hashing it. The purpose of a SOAP is to prevent rainbow table attack from working. Without a SOAP, an attacker can generate a new rainbow table, and which is widely available over the internet to rapidly crack common password. Hashing without using SOAP is easier to crack than hashing with a SOAP. So let me take you to that option on my little program. So I go to main, and now if I go to hash, so I will have an option to go number 5 will be MD5 hash with SOAP. So my program support 2 different kind of SOAP. So one SOAP is you can key in your own SOAP, and the other one is it will automatically generate a random SOAP for you. So for example, my password is password. Then if I leave blank, it will automatically generate a random SOAP for me. And then if I do it again with password, then I have an option put one of my own self in there. So as you know, it's different. And if I do this again, you can you notice it's the same. But if I using a random one, you will never get something the same. Well, you can, but it's gonna be what a coincidence sort of thing. Blank. So you see this one is different than this one because it's a random. Okay, so that is how I try to mimic the password encryption with SOAP. So another area where has been used is with the file privacy protection, copyright protection, and antivirus firm. So this tool is using similar logic. So for example, a copyright holder took the copyright file and passed it through a hash function. They then output the hash value, and those copyright holder would would blacklist the hash of copyright protected material. When the user try to share this copyright protected material, Dropbox, YouTube, and other vendor will automatically scan, pick up the blacklist hash, and block it from being shared. Similarly, the logic is being used for antivirus firm. Antivirus firm keep track of a list of a database of all the blacklist malware has. And so what they do is they scan the computer and they compare the file has on user PC against the blacklist malware hash, and they will if there is anything that come up to be matched, they will alert of malware activity on the computers. So in my program, would you can do similar thing using a file hash. So if you pick number 2, you will have an option to select one of the hash type. I'll pick 2. So you specify a directory. So if when you specify a directory, it will ask you if you want to search for a hash in the directory, or if you don't specify anything, which means you want to see all the file hash. So if I don't want to select anything, I just put enter. I have said something too big. Okay, finally done. Okay, so you can also search for file 2 using number 2. Again, I'm using number 2. Okay, I'm sorry, I ran out of time, so I'm trying to cut it out quick. Number 2, and I search in this directory. And if I want to search for this particular hash, and they say it's fine, this one matched the file. Okay, so now let me go back to the main menu. So the third type of area where hash value is being used is in forensics exam. So what they do is they try to compare the two files to identify and verify and the data. So hash value is similar to the DNA sequence or the fingerprint of a data. So what they do, they try to compare two files. So here, let me take you quickly there. I'm sorry, I rushed because I tried to finish on time. So, okay, so let's do number 4. So it's asked you to prompt for two files. So let me do this file. So these two files are identical. I copy them and try to rename them. So they are different names, but they ultimately they're the same. So it will result as a match. And then if you choose number 4, and this time if you pick two different files, then it will say it's not a match. Okay. Thank you so much for your time. That's all I got for today. Have a nice day.